K-Mac. Turn the bass down, bring my vocals up. Big shots in the building, we came to burn it up. I ain't came to start.
Let's get into it. A matchmaker will assess what skills the fighter has and where their strengths lie, and then select the opponents who can challenge them in other areas. Boxing promoters are usually matchmakers. Never mind that boxing is all about fighting, relationships all about loving. Just like a good marriage, a good fight is the result of perfect pairing. On that note, let's get straight into it. This is for the love of boxing TV. This is Quali coming at you. What up, y'all? Should have been dropped this video, man. Just been some heavy shit on my mind, man. Sorry for the delay of videos, man. But as we see, there is an art to matchmaking, and I don't think Chris Colbert and Joey Spencer understood that very well. You know, I understand that you should definitely believe in yourself, of course, obviously, you know what I'm saying, or boxing ain't the sport for you, you know what I'm saying. That's the only way you can aspire to be great, be champion, and things like that. But that's what boxing promoters are for, as we've just seen in the little clip that I just showed of what defines matchmaking and what a matchmaker is supposed to do and who's a matchmaker. I don't even want to come at the promoters in this video because I really do think it was just what the fighter wants. You got to get a fighter what they want. That's cool. That's what we want. You know what I'm saying? We want the fighters that want the smoke. But let me start with Chris Colbert. Chris Colbert was coming off a loss. Excuse me, y'all. Chris Colbert was coming off a loss versus Hector Garcia, which got Hector Garcia the Tank fight. I doubt if Chris Colbert won that fight that he would be fighting Tank in his next fight, as did Hector Garcia. So, you know, when you bounce back, you want to, like he said in this post-fight press conference, you want to bounce back with a worthy opponent. I guess that worthy opponent was Jose Valenzuela, Rayo. And Rayo came to fight. Rayo, big 135-pounder with some bricks in his hands. And not saying that he ain't beatable, and not saying that you're not supposed to be able to step up in competition and beat people like that. I just don't think for Chris Colbert that was the right fight or the right match to go into. And whoever allowed him to go into that fight, I don't want to come at the boxing pro. I think this is something they really want. They offered it to him. If they offer it to you, it's up to you to take it. This is probably the most money that he could make, the most dangerous fight that he could take to make the most money, and that's understandable. But to me, I feel like coming off a loss like Hector Garcia, this wasn't the one to get into. I think this was terrible matchmaking on his own behalf. Rayo was not saying, again, not saying that a little man can't beat a bigger guy. There's no way that his skills were, I'm not saying that his skills wasn't superior enough to beat a Rayo if they fight 10 times. I just feel like that night he lost. We already got into the details in a previous video. You can check out Showbiz the Adult. He broke it down copy box numbers way to prove also why Chris Colbert lost. And it's not even like a Chris Colbert bash thing or nothing like that. It's just, I feel like this could have totally been avoided had he matched himself up with somebody that was appropriate for his return bout. You know what I'm saying? You just came off a loss versus somebody with heavy hands in a sense, you know, and beat you every single round, and then, you know, you pair yourself with another person like this, like somewhat like that, to redeem yourself. I think Hector Garcia's skills are definitely much greater than a Rayo, but at the same time, you know, you just got out of there with a puncher at 30 to get it there with a super puncher at 35, and you know, you might not be ready for that. And to me, he wasn't ready for that, as we seen. But the judges thought otherwise. So it is what it is. That's how the cards fall. But I feel like that's the robbery of the year. But again, had he not been matched up with Rayo right now, you know, matched up with someone more suitable for a return bout. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, yeah, you can get thrown right back into the fire. I guess in my opinion, what I'm saying is that's not Chris Colbert. But who am I, you know what I'm saying, to say what's good for him? Clearly or obviously he knows what's best for him, and it worked out. But clearly he sees that that division is not for him. He said in the post-fight press conference, I'm not fighting at 35, that's not for me. And the matchmakers probably told you that. Somebody had to tell you that, or you had to know that. Somebody knew that to a certain extent, man. That's all I'm saying. Before you even jumped all the way up into this thing, you know what I'm saying? And then not to get that man a rematch, man, is just really foul. We're going to move on, man, because I don't really want to extend this 10 minutes just on Chris Colbert. But again, that's just a perfect example of matchmaking going wrong. He probably looking at Ryo like, oh yeah, nah. I seen it when they set it up. I wish I could have did a video like, I don't think that would have made this video look that much better. So I'm finna stay on it. Now let's get to Joey Spencer again. I gave y'all the backdrop on to why I think that happened. I think ESPN did a good job of trying to build up Joey. He probably got tired of the level of competition. He probably thought that wasn't going to put him in position to be able to fight for a world title or really get him recognition. But you got to understand, sometimes it takes time. Again, Canelo fought in Mexico. Fought like 40 dudes before he even came over here and started wrecking shop. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You could call that type of competition what you want, but nevertheless, it's experience. It's experience. You understand what I'm saying? It's experience. So it makes sense, you know, when, you know, he's fighting certain opponents that even maybe you thought he wasn't supposed to fight, like a Floyd. Well, he got some type of experience and it got him there. You see what I'm saying? So it made sense. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's terrible matchmaking as far as putting him in the ring with a Bivol. I could have seen that a mile away. To me, I didn't see him beating Bivol. I still don't see him beating Bivol. That's terrible matchmaking. I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I don't even want to dig into that right now. I'll dig into that when it's time, when they actually make that fight official again, and I'll dig into all the ins and outs why that was just terrible matchmaking and all that for Canelo as well. But again, with Joey Spencer, ESPN did a good job of building him up and putting him in position to get experience. And I think he grew tired of that. We don't know the inside, but that's what I see from the outside looking in, because he was doing good under Virgil Hunter when he had him as a trainer. Virgil probably was trying to slow him down, make him right, because they seem like, dude, we seen it, man. Like Ramos was just on another level, man. Just on the, like, it was just another level of experience. He was like, it was almost like you was a little boy, you was amateur, and he was like a man. Like, why did they put that boy in there with that man? And then it looked like you needed to be saved. You see what I'm saying? That match shouldn't have happened for you. You wasn't ready for that. See that a mile away. So whoever match made that, they probably like, all right, you know, this what Joey want. We got to get a man what he want. But again, sometimes everybody ain't in a position like maybe a person like a Chris Colbert. He clearly is somebody that they heavily invested into winning and stuff like that. So it might not, the ball might not roll in the right direction for you. You know what I'm saying? This might be a step down in pay, step down in importance and all types of stuff. Somebody like Chris Colbert, right back into a kind of a top fight, right back on pay-per-view, you know, not back on pay-per-view, but got a pay-per-view opportunity, got aided, but at the same time, still, you know, he got the opportunity. But for you, I'm not sure if your representation is the same. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know, you know, to be seen, you know what I'm saying? But I'd rather him had took a lesser skilled opponent and build up more experience, maybe for 2 or 3 more fights before you get in there with somebody like a Ramos, you know, maybe somebody like a Ramos to kind of get you somewhat that exposure to get used to that. I don't know what you sparring with and stuff like that. I just knew just off the strength of the type of opponents I seen you fight and your skill level at ESPN, you doing good, but, some of these dudes, you ain't cleaning up how you supposed to. It ain't nothing, no special effects. You know what I'm saying? And it just wasn't time. And that's just the art of matchmaking right there. You know what I'm saying? If I was his boxing promoter or his advisor, and like, man, well, you just going to have to fire me because I'm not putting you in the ring with somebody like that. I ain't saying I don't believe in you, kid, but, the term seasoning, listen to it. You know what I'm saying? If you're not seasoned enough for some of these opponents, man, you will get your ass tenderized, and he got his ass tenderized. That was a really bad look for his career. It ain't nothing wrong with losing, but how you lose sometimes is something. That man got destroyed. You understand? And as far as like thinking he ready for somebody like a Charlo, whoever the champion is at 54 later on down, he ain't nowhere near close. That just fucked it up. You know what I'm saying? Chris Colbert, yeah, he got knocked down, didn't get knocked out his last fight, but then he came back in this fight. I ain't gonna say he stunk up the joint. He fought back. He put up a fight. I'm not gonna say like he was just getting dogged. He was, but he was still in it. So I guess it ain't. He didn't do so bad. With Chris, don't look like he shouldn't be in there with another top opponent or something like a Gary Russell Jr. or a Robeisy Ramirez or something like that, or a Shakur Stevenson at 130 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He definitely ain't ready for the Frank Martins and the Keyshawn Davises and stuff at 135. He ain't ready for that. That's over with. So I don't want to see him on Twitter and all these different spaces talking shit to these dudes, talking about you don't want no smoke. They want the smoke. They want it at 30, 35, and 40. They all over the road. You stay your little bitty ass at 30. Excuse me for cussing y'all. I'm just a little passionate because that was really disgusting, and I'm still not over that one. But again, man, the art of matchmaking. Hopefully he learned his lesson. Like he said, he definitely ain't going back to 35, and I'm glad Hector Garcia said, I would not grant you a rematch until you grant Rayo his rematch, so you could just forget about it. So you ain't got no chance at fighting me. That's a wrap. I beat you every round. It wasn't even close. It ain't even worth doing a rematch. Like, that's what you rematch shit for when it's close. That scorecard was 95 to 94, all three judges. You deserve to get that man a rematch. Floyd, controversy to Castillo, turn right back around. Controversy to Madonna, turn right back around. So, it is what it is, man. I'm going to go ahead and cut this video, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Like, subscribe, share, everything, man. Again, man, sorry for the delays of videos, man. I should have been dropped this video, man, just with some heavy shit on my mind. But this is for the love of boxing TV. This is Quali coming at you, man. Still going to be coming at you with more videos soon. I think I heard some big news as far as Earl and Terrence. I will be updating you. And it's definitely some more fights coming on this weekend. We definitely got to touch on the Anthony Joshua and I forget his opponent's name. Excuse me, man. I don't even know who dude is, because Joshua should be fighting somebody that we know. He should be fighting a Fury or Wilder. One of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Joe Joyce. You know what I'm saying? Fight somebody that we know, man. You know what I'm saying? You scared. Forget all that scared to lose stuff, especially at heavyweight. You could lose bad at heavyweight because it's heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? Y'all throwing some real heavy shit. So at any time, somebody could go down, but you could recover. We understand that. You know how many times Big Ox Lennox got dropped, came back, and rejuvenated that career, man, or just revenged that loss. So I wish they get over losses, man. I really do. So whoever matchmaking him, they really pussyfooting around. Excuse me, man. They really messing around with Joshua, man. Put that dude in the fire, man, and call it a day. He ain't had no real heat since Ruiz, man. So it's time. But again, like, subscribe, share. This is for the love of boxing TV. Quality coming at you, man. Peace.